welcome back to the Essential Owl. Erin here to make another Christmas custom order soap. Today we are doing one of my favorite seasonal soaps. I made one of these last year. I'm going to make one for my own line this year, and I'm making one for my custom order customer as well. Today we are using the Peppermint Stick Fragrance Oil from Crafter's Choice. You get this from Wholesale Supplies Plus. You guys, this smells so incredibly good. Super duper pepperminty with a little bit of sweet. It is perfect. It smells exactly like a candy cane. It's fabulous. Now for my colorants, we're going pretty simple. This is some titanium dioxide that has been dispersed into some water. And then in this one, we've got some really red mica that is dispersed in a little bit of fractionated coconut oil. So that's pretty much all we're gonna do. I'm gonna try to go for a very thin drop swirl, or maybe in the pot swirl even. But I want to try to keep as little red as possible. I want it to be mostly white, but we'll see how that goes. But I don't have anything else to talk about. I'm rushing a little bit tonight just because there's a lot to do and I still have a lot of soap to make. So let's jump right into the making of this soap. That's all the mixing that I'm gonna do for the base. You guys, the smell, I can taste it. And it's cool and mentholy and pepperminty. It's fantastic. I super recommend this fragrance oil. Now I'm going to temporarily dismantle this stick blender, and we had a little bit of Lylent. Not a whole lot, but I do want to reuse this container, so I'm just going to clean that out really fast. If I had more time, I would definitely go and rinse this out. But do as I say and not as I do, please. Alrighty, so you can see this is at a good consistency right now. It's barely at trace. You can see the trail that the soap is making on top there. It is barely at trace, so this is perfect, but I do want to move a little bit quickly. So I'm going to try to make a very light swirl here. A very small one. Actually, I'm going to pour just a little bit of this back into our main base here. That's all I've got, you guys. A very little amount. I want the red to be noticeable, but not prominent. Alrighty. So now, I'm just going to pour the titanium dioxide into our big container, and the really red into our small one. This really red mica, when you get it dispersed into some oil, it looks very much like blood. It can be a little bit unsettling. You see there? It looks like I cut myself. That is actually just the mica there. Alright, now first I'm going to stir these in by hand and see if I need to go in and add more color or if I need to stick blend. I should have started with the white first, but I'm a dummy, so I didn't. Alright, so this is the color that we've got right now with the red. It's not quite as red as I would like, so I am going to add a little bit more mica here because I really want it to be a candy apple red. Just give this a quick stir. with the spatula, see if we can't get that dispersed a little bit. All right, let's go on and mix up this white here. I might have to go in with more white. Actually, I think I'm gonna stick blend everything. Titanium dioxide especially just disperses better if you stick blend it. So let me do that really fast. So I decided to add just a little bit more titanium dioxide to this white to try to brighten it up a little bit. But I don't want to add any more because I think that I'm going to get some glycerin rivers, which isn't the end of the world. It's not that bad. It's not what I intended to happen, but it happens. And it's not super duper yellow. It's a nice off-white, and I think that will be just fine. And this is thickening a little bit just because of that titanium dioxide. The red is still nice and fluid and behaving itself, and that turned into a much, much, much better color. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a heavy in the pot swirl, because I think that's what's going to be the best at this point. Actually, I think I just lied. I think I'm going to do a plop and a drop, not a drop, a hanger swirl. So actually, that looks like it might be better for you all. So I am going to spoon some white into here. Kind of smooth it out. This does not have to be pretty. And then I'll take some red. Just plop some of that in there. Actually, I think I'm going to try something. Actually, no, I'm not, because this white is getting pretty thick. Thank you, titanium dioxide. I just want to make sure I cover that red up. I'm going to bang this down on the floor. Alright, got that nice and settled. Go back in with some more red. I'm not going to completely scrape all the red that I have in here, because I do want to save some for the top if I can. Oh, y'all see that? I'm so messy. Wow, I just made it so much worse. Oh my goodness. Code red. Send help, someone. Alright, white. This is what happens when I soap in a hurry. It never ends well, but I continue to do it. And I have nobody to blame but myself. Just making all kinds of messes, y'all. Alrighty. So, now, can't find my little dowel, so I have my big one here. It's very long. It's way longer than it needs to be, but it's all that I got handy, and I can't stop now. So, what I'm going to do now is go in And just go up and down. Very haphazard swirl. And I'm just going to do this through the whole thing. Oops, sorry, I bumped the camera there. All right. Now, I'm going to bang on the floor one more time. All right. Don't tell me that's not starting to look a little bit like a candy cane. I'm hoping that the inside will be just as nice. We'll have to see. All right, so I'm just going to scrape some of this white onto the top. Take just a little bit off. And what I'm doing now is just making sure that the loaf is even. It's not the prettiest, but it works for making sure you don't have any bars that aren't just a whole lot taller than in the others, especially if you're rushing everything like I am. I'm sorry that this video is so awful. I'm just really in a rush, but I wanted to make sure that I filmed this for you guys. Okay, so I wanted a little bit of marbling there, which I think I got pretty good. Just smooth this out some more. It doesn't have to be perfect. So what I want to do now is try to get this mica open, but I can't because there's soap all over my gloves because I'm messy. Goodness gracious. There we go. This may or may not work because it is starting to set up, but we will just have to see what happens. So I am mixing up just a little bit more of that really red mica with a little bit more oil. Okay, so a little bit more oil with that really red mica. And I'm gonna do some drips. They look just like blood drips. That's a little bit disconcerting. And make sure I get drips on what will be every bar of soap. Do some little drips here. Okay, let's see if we can swirl this, and if we can't, we can't. Ooh, I think it's gonna work, y'all. I'm trying to clean this off just a little. There we go. All right, so hopefully you all can see what I'm doing, but I am just going to do some swirls here. And it is a little bit thicker than expected, but that's fine. I'm going to bang it down again anyway. I'm not going too far into the soap, and I don't think this is working as well as I thought it was going to. Well, this isn't my best soap by far. But Let's see what happens when I bang it down. All right, not too shabby. Far from the best that I have ever done, but definitely not that bad. So here is the candy cane soap that I just made. You know, it's not the greatest, it's not the prettiest, but it's rustic and it smells wonderful, and I don't think it looks all that bad, but it definitely could have been better. That was just mostly me rushing it, to be honest, and just not taking my time, and that's really all I have to say about that. But I have high hopes that the inside is going to look really, really good, and I apologize for how this video isn't exactly the best, but I actually really do like that top with the texture and everything. The more that I look at it, the more that I like it. Is it the best? No, but I think it's still going to be really neat inside anyway. So that's all that I have for this portion of the video. I will see you all for the cut. We are back to cut the peppermint / candy cane soap that was made yesterday. It's been sitting for about 24 hours at this point. I know that everything up here is a mess. I know, I apologize, it's awful, but it's a holiday week, so I'm hoping to be able to catch up on some cleaning and organization, so we'll just have to see. But I wanted to show everybody. So this is what it looks like on the outside. There's a big streak of red there, but the outside, not a whole lot going on there, which I didn't really expect there to be because there shouldn't really be much going on the outside. You have to excuse me for just a second. There's a little piece of something on the bottom. It looks like another little soap flake there. All right, but here is the top, and again, very rustic, super textured. Maybe you can see from the side, very, very textured. There is some deep divots in there, and that's fine. I'm not sweating it. I actually really like it. I think that it's charming. So, and also, by the way, you guys, this smells so very, very, very good. Highly, highly recommend the Peppermint Stick Fragrance Oil from Wholesale Supplies Plus. So okay, so my tripod fell over. I think I bumped it a little bit too hard. A weird thing is happening with this new tripod that I'm really kind of upset about. The actual mount where the phone goes has started flopping forward, and I don't really know how to fix it or what to do. It has worked great up until this point, and then suddenly it started doing that. So I don't know. If anybody has any recommendations for an iPhone tripod, please let me know. This one was super highly rated on Amazon, and again, it worked very, very well for a few months, and now suddenly it has started doing that. I don't know. I'll have to take it apart or something and look at it and see if I can get it to act right. All right, so there's the back, and there is the inside. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. That is exactly what I wanted. I didn't plan on doing the hanger swirl. Let's just go with hanger swirl because dowel swirl sounds a little bit strange. But I am glad that I did it. It made things very, very wispy, which is what I wanted. Just a couple of specks of red. This is fantastic. Oh, and the top. So there's one side, the other, the top. Smells so good. One thing I really like about these peppermint stick or candy cane specific fragrances is that they're a sweet peppermint. They're not overwhelmingly peppermint, say like a straight peppermint essential oil, which is a little bit much. This is very, very, very pepperminty. Do not get me wrong. It is very, extremely pepperminty. But there are also other notes, sweetness, that sort of tone it down just a little bit. It's kind of hard to describe. If you have ever had a candy cane, it smells exactly like a candy cane. It is great. All right, so there's one side. I absolutely love that swirl. And the other, the top. I like that the colors aren't too muddled too. These lighter ones do look a little bit pink, but you can tell that it's red. Absolutely love it. And the top, fantastic. It reminds me of just some really old-fashioned sort of candy canes. I'm super ecstatic about this. But what I was saying before I cut my own self off is that the candy cane sorts of fragrances are one of my favorite holiday winter scents to make because they're just so good. There is something about it just speaks to me in a special kind of way. I absolutely love it. That one has quite a bit more red in it, but still very, very, very pretty. We do have a couple of very tiny, you might not even be able to tell, a very tiny air bubble there and a small one there and a very, very, very small one there. But it blends in pretty good, so I'm not that worried about it. And it did thicken quite a bit on me, the white especially, mostly due to the titanium dioxide. And on top of that, I didn't get any glycerin rivers, which is great. I expected some. I was fully expecting some when I cut into this, but there are none, nowhere to be found. And as I said before, I wouldn't have minded if there were, but I'm also glad that there aren't any. Okay, so there's one side, the other. With this, there is a chance that that really red mica will bleed into the white. But even if it does, I think it will be just fine. One side and the other. The top. There's one side. I really like that swirl. And the other. And the top. Okay. Last bar. It's always a little bit thick. So we're just going to cut a little bit of that bad boy off. I will probably save this piece for myself. So there's one side and there is the other. And this is the final bar, you guys. So what do you think of the soap? Tell me down in the comments below. I would love to hear your input on this. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Is it too simple? Is the top not doing it for you? I really want to hear what you have to say about it. If you enjoy these videos, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on those notifications so you never miss one of my uploads, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.